Dear learners, welcome back to Swayam NPTEL course on library automation and networking. So this is week 2, module number 2, automation of housekeeping operations and library services, lecture number 10. The particular title of this session is Maintenance Division, Reports and Statistics. Dear learners, the last session we have already discussed about different areas of library automation such as acquisition division, technical division, circulation division. So these are all major areas where we do library automation process. Equally, we have one more area that we call it as maintenance division. So this maintenance division as well as OPAC or online public access catalog, these two areas also can be automated. So major areas what we have learned, as we have seen all the functions, features, how it works and how do we do the automation. So this we have already seen. And this maintenance division, how do we perform such kind of an automation? Let's see that also. As we know that when we talk about maintenance division, so as I already discussed that when we talk about any housekeeping activities, it starts from acquisition. So once the acquisition staff completed his or her work, then it comes to technical service, then technical all the procedures like classification, cataloging, technical processing, labeling, etc. will be done, and then it will go to the display unit in a manual system, and then it goes to the particular shelf where it has to be located. From there users will come to the circulation counter along with the book and it has to be issued. That means the transaction will happen in the circulation division. So this is up to circulation. So once circulation has been done, transaction has been done, then normally like issue, return, renewal, all these procedures happen. That means that particular transaction has been completed. So all these details are with circulation division. So once the circulation division completes its transaction, the books which is returned, it has to go back to the same place where it has to be located. So that particular area we need to have some kind of a maintenance. So that means the maintenance part will be more related to the area of shelving where the collection is involved. All the collections have to be maintained in a proper manner, so that there are many works which are related to maintenance division. And some of the activities which are equally part of this particular circulation division as well as maintenance division. So when we talk about maintenance, the staff who are involved in the maintenance division have to look after all the activities which are kind of maintaining the dignity or maintaining the organization of the collection. That means when a particular person take a books from the rack, so that has to be replaced time to time. And when a person take a books for transaction, when he returns, that has to go to that particular place immediately. And whenever there is a kind of a procedures like binding, major binding or minor binding, so as soon as you receive that particular document, it has to go to the same place. So these are all the activities normally a maintenance division staff does. Apart from that, like dusting, cleaning or properly maintaining the collection, keeping the collection intact. So all these activities are part of maintenance divisions. And one of the major activity which happens in the maintenance division is stock verification. That means the person who is involved in this maintenance as well as circulation division is equally responsible for doing this particular stock verification process. In a manual system, as we know that stock verification is something like you are taking the stock of the resources which are available in the library. It is not that how we are taking stock in the, say for example in a supermarket where we will count only the items, how many sold and how many is existing. So apart from that, we will be having a complete collection statistics of a particular area or the whole library, as well as we will come to know what are the strength and what are the weakness, where you have to concentrate more, where we have to do some kind of additional concentration. So these are all will be coming to know when you do particular stock verification. So stock verification is a procedure or process in which it has more advantages rather than just counting the numbers and finding out the missing of resources. Apart from that, you will be having some additional tool where you will be able to convince your management that these are all the issues we face and this much work we have done and this much we are not able to do because of these reasons. Or you will be always having a justification for performing a particular activities in a particular library once you do the stock verification. So when it comes to a normal traditional library, these are the methods we normally follow in a stock verification procedures. Like where you can use accession register as a tool for stock verification, or you can use register containing accession number or stock register, You can also use loose sheets of accession register where you will take a printout of this particular accession register and you can make the recording or make the marks on that particular register or the paper, loose paper. And like that there are many technologies like numerical counting, shelf list system, book card system, duplicated book card or check card system, sampling method, etc. are the major tools which are used in the libraries in a traditional environment to perform stock verification. But when it comes to computerized maintenance division, so we use computers assisted technologies to perform stock verification methods. So now we are not going to discuss more about the computerized stock verification method, but we will see what are the advantages when you go for a stock verification using a computer assisted technology. That means once you go for an automation, the softwares, there are many softwares they use to give a module for performing this particular activity, that is called stock verification. So when we talk about stock verification in a computerized environment, so normally libraries use barcode or RFID technology. So these are the two major tools or technology we can say that it can be efficiently used for performing the verification process. In a computerized environment, so how do we do this particular thing is, we have the barcode technology so that all the book is having a barcode, whereas you will be having a barcode scanner in which you will go with that and then scan each and every document. The data which is related to or pertaining to that particular book will be fed in this particular system, so that you can segregate or you can filter them or you can arrange in a sequence, and then you will find out what is the missing issues. And again you have a technology that you can have a spreadsheet. Within seconds you can make the spreadsheet of all the sequential numbers because you have the accession number in sequential order, so that you will make a spreadsheet of that and then you can check one by one. So these are all the methods we can adopt, either using a spreadsheet mechanism or using the software module or using the barcode technology or RFID technology. You can perform stock verification in a particular library in an automated situation. So what are the advantages and disadvantages? One of the major advantage of this particular technology is you are getting an error-free data, and as well as you are saving a lot of time, and of course you are not disturbing this particular users in a normal environment. So you have to close the library for more than 1 or 2 days if based on the number of collections or how big is your library, that many days you have to close the library for doing the stock verification. But in case of computer technology or computer assisted methods, you need not to wait for, need to disturb the sequence of the users where you can perform such kind of stock verification activities within a day or half. So apart from that, you will be having the advantage of checking the duplication very easily, and you can perform all the works very easily with a minimum number of staff, and all the data that you have collected will be error free and that will be intact also. So it is very easy for you to perform the activities as well as get the report and then find out the missing number of books or how many are missing in that particular series. And what are the difficulties or challenges, or we can say that the disadvantages? This particular technology involves some kind of amount. That means you have to have an investment initially to procure this kind of technologies like barcode and RFID technologies. As well as when you use a spreadsheet, there is a mistake of like clerical mistakes can happen, so that errors can appear. So you have to rectify in the later stage. So sometimes it will be a time consuming process. So these are all some of the disadvantages. But apart from that, there are smaller libraries, they cannot sometimes accommodate and they don't require also. It is mainly for the libraries having a good collection so that you can do it in a particular time. So dear learners, when you talk about maintenance division, this is one of the major activities we do it in the maintenance division as stock verification process that can be highly computer assisted. And the next step is online public access catalog. That means we short form we use it as OPAC or online public access catalog. So as we heard about card catalog, where we are making the catalog or bibliographical details of a particular resource which has been entered into the library, that means you are making that property as your own property. In that case, all the metadata, all the related data, all the bibliographical details of a particular document has to be properly recorded using a standard format. For that we normally use some kind of standards like ASCR2, etc. So in this particular scenario, so where the traditional system we are going to change it as an automated system. So how do we perform such kind of activities in a cataloging process? As we know that we have made the card catalog, it is having lot of disadvantages, like you have to make so many cards and you have to keep all those cards in somewhere that consumes a lot of space, and staff has to make a lot of time to be spent on that particular effort to make many kind of cards, main card, and that we call it as main entry, and there are reference entries, cross reference entries, in order to meet the different requirements or different dimensions of approach or different demands of a particular user to a particular document. That means the user can come with any of the requirement, that they can come for a book with its title, its author, its ISBN number, its call number, etc., etc. So we will not be able to predict that this particular user will come only with a particular query, that is author or that is title. So in order to meet all the requirement, all the existing requirement as well as anticipated requirement, we need to make card catalogs. So that is a labor intensive job. So when you do such kind of activities in a computerized scenario, that will become very easy. And OPAC is one of the major tools normally use any libraries along with the circulation module. So OPAC will give an interface for a user to check the availability of a particular book. Normally the OPAC is a tool which enable a user to find out a particular book, that means the details of a particular book like bibliographical details, and finding out a particular books whether it is available in a library, where it is available, and what kind of material it is, like textbook or issue book or reference book or any other book, or what is the status of book, whether that particular book is available in the library or not, without coming to the library. So that is the major advantage of having an online public access catalog, where a particular user can sit in his own her cabin or where is the place he is sitting. From there, with a computer with an internet connectivity, he or she will be able to check with OPAC the status of the collection. And apart from that, OPAC further advanced, we call it as web OPAC, that means web version of online public access catalog, where you will be able to access the resources from anywhere in the world. So wherever you are sitting, from there itself you will be able to check the resources availability, and apart from that you have many options, additional options in the OPAC system. So when you become a member of a library, normally when you are planning to access the OPAC, you will be able to get an login ID or login ID and password. So with this user credentials, you can log into your account in a OPAC system. That OPAC will be acting as a particular tool for searching for a particular document as well as your individual dashboard. That means when you get a particular book from a library, that means you have done a transaction. So once you have done the transaction, when you go to OPAC and dashboard, log in it with your credentials, then you will come to know how many books you have taken and how many books are pending with you, how many books are overdue, when is the last date, and how do we make such kind of renewals, or when, suppose if you wanted to make a reservation for a particular book which has been issued to someone else. So all the details which are pertaining to a particular document can be visible in this particular OPAC interface, where you will be able to make such kind of a individual activities. The activities such as you will be able to see the status of a particular document, you can renew it, you can reserve it, and you can find out your overdues. And apart from this, suppose you wanted to make some kind of a purchase suggestion, that means you are going to recommend a particular document to a library, where you will be having a particular option that there is a purchase suggestion option, where you can click that and make a suggestion for a particular book which is not available in the library, or if you are planning to buy a multiple copy of. So wherever you are sitting, so you will be able to check the transaction details and all other activities which are related to a particular transaction. And apart from that, suppose if you wanted to make a search, and then you have multiple options. You can search with author, that means you have a basic search and advanced search in the OPAC system. So you will be able to search with basic search like author, title, etc., and you can go for advanced search, like you can use Boolean operators, or you can make any such kind of a permutation and combination, so that you will be getting your desired filtered result. And this result can be somewhere you can save it, and you can further analyze, and you can make your own reservation. So everything or anything is possible in this particular module, as user has the complete freedom when he or she goes to his dashboard. This is the screenshot of one of the major open source integrated library software highly used in Indian libraries, where you can see all the options in the left side, such as summary of your transaction and charges, that means how much overdue charges you have in your account. Personal details, all your details will be available in that particular dashboard, where you can log in and see. And tags, the books can be tagged, and you also have the option of changing the password. and you can find out all the checkout histories, how many books you have taken and how many books you have returned, how many is lying with you. This can be, and you can also make the purchase suggestion, as we have discussed that through online, without going to the library physically and without giving a printed recommendation, through online while searching you can make purchase suggestions to the librarian also. And if you wanted to make some kind of a communication particular about a particular book, that messaging part is also available in this particular catalog option. And also we have the options to list out all the resources in which you required. Say for example, you are working in a particular project, you have a particular subject area, you just search that particular keyword and find out all the resources in that particular category, and you can make a list of that. So wherever you wanted to use that particular list, so that can be used also. Or if you wanted to download it and keep it with you, and if you want to showcase someone that this particular books are available in the library, which one will be more suitable for me. So all these activities, performance can be performed in this particular OPAC module. So it is highly required to make a particular cataloging procedure automated, so that the administrative staff or library staff as well as the users can use all these options in a very efficient and effective manner. So when we talk about maintenance, as we have seen that stock verification is one of the major category, and the second one is cataloging. That means automating the cataloging procedures so that online public access catalog will be ready for the users. And the third one is the report modules. So when we talk about maintenance, so they have to maintain or they have to document all the reports, all the statistics which are part of any of the activities in a library. That means all the activities which are done in different types of housekeeping operations or different housekeeping areas, that has to be documented properly. So we need to have many of the statistics and reports whenever we need to justify something. So statistics, when you talk about in that way, these are all facts or figures which can be visualized in any of the formats like graphs or charts or diagrams, etc. So it can be an efficient tool to showcase what are the things you have done and how much is the growth and what are the weakness and what are the strengths, and you will be able to make such kind of a conclusion or decision, so that you will be able to better plan for a better efficient effective activities in a library. So this data also can be helpful for comparing with other libraries as well as your own libraries. Say for example, if you have 1 year data, the same data you can compare with other libraries if they are able to produce that. And even in the similar way, within the library you can find out, say for example, you make a transaction statistics of a particular group of departments. So you will come to know how many books have taken in a particular year by a particular department. So you can even compare like arts faculties or science faculties, how many people are coming to the libraries in a particular stream, or how many people are using this particular book, how many number of times a particular book has been borrowed. So all the permutation combination can be made using the data which is available in a particular medium. So that has to be kept in the statistical or report module. So when you have such kind of a data in a manual system, as we know that in a manual system it is very difficult for you to maintain such kind of a data in a proper manner. If somebody asks, in this particular year or in this particular month from a particular stream, how many persons are male and female, how many female users have taken this many books under this many category, it is very difficult for you to find out. Whereas all such queries in a complex nature can be rectified or can be retrieved using a reports and statistical modules which are available in an automated system. So it is very much useful and efficient and effective when you make a particular area where you need to have such kind of statistics and reports, make it as an automated process. So when we talk about statistics and reports, there are many areas we can perform such kind of a statistical or report analysis using a computerized automation system. The major areas are acquisition, cataloging, serial control, OPAC, transactions, reports, statistics. So the major areas of doing such kind of a statistics and reports are acquisitions, even technical processing, how much you have cataloged, and then accessioning also, and stock verification, etc. And the other area is circulation division, periodical, indexing, abstracting, etc. So these are all the major areas in which you can make automation, so that you will be able to get all the statistics and reports in an effective and efficient manner. So let us look into the particular areas when we do such kind of an activities. I have taken some of the slides from a non-integrated library system in an open source environment, so that you will get an idea that wherever you can make such kind of a reports and statistics in a minute level. So this is the screenshot of an acquisition statistics where you can make how many books you have been placed, that means how many books you have been ordered, that means how many books you have been made a purchase order, how many you have received, and within this stipulated period, how many vendors have supplied, how many books are pending, and how many books you have made a claim. All these statistics, and that to a particular year, month, or a particular date, everything can be possible using when you make an acquisition division automated. And apart from that, you can categorize them based on the vendors, and if you have libraries like home library and sister libraries, you can make a separate sheet of that, how many you have purchased from a particular vendor for this particular departmental library or a sister library. So all these statistics is very much possible when you require some kind of a data which are related to acquisition or acquiring something for the library. And also how many books you are purchased, how many books are under category of gift, or etc. etc. And the next one is patrons details, that means users details. As we know that member details are one of the important area in which you need to have all the statistics. So once all the membership has been done, that means all the members are made into a particular library automated software. So once it is documented or recorded, any kind of details can be retrieved. That means if someone asks a particular number of users from a particular department, it is easy to find out. And if you wanted to make how many people are coming, and also if you wanted to make different categories like male, female, or undergraduate or postgraduate, faculties or the students, so all these category can be made possible, and address, details, emails, phone numbers, all the contact details. So everything is possible using this particular module, where you will be able to make any kind of reports and statistics when you make library automation in this particular module. The next stage is cataloging. So as we know that we have already seen that how do we make such kind of a cataloging process automated. So once you make the automation process of cataloging, then it is easy for you to get any type of details. Say for example, you can have item type, publisher wise, publication year. So that means you can have many such kind of a details. Suppose you wanted to get the details of all books published in a particular year, or all the books which are catalogued in a particular period, or all the books which are available in a particular subject area. So anything and everything which are related to cataloging of a particular resource can be easily possible when you make this particular activity automated. So you will also have options for holding status. Suppose if a particular person is holding a book, that means it is something like a reserving a book. So how many people have reserved in a particular time period, or in a particular individual, how many times he has reserved a particular book, and how many holds, how many people have cancelled their holds. So all these details which are related to reservation or renewal or holding can be retrieved from this particular option that we call it as hold statistics. So it is also part of the circulation activity. And when it comes to the circulation statistics, as we know that we have a separate data for that also. That means each and every time how many transaction has been happened, and how many people have taken in a particular day or particular time, and what are the resources which are highly used by a particular user. And suppose if you wanted to give a particular user rewards or awards for highly using a particular library resources, so you can easily find out with this particular circulation statistics, and how many books are available in the library, how many books have been issued already, how many are there in a binding session, how many are sent it for outside binding. All these categories of holding and the complete collection details can be available along with the transaction details in this particular circulation statistics. When it comes to serials publication or the periodical subscription, as we know that libraries do the subscription of periodicals also. It can be printed one or it can be online resources. In the case of online, when it automated or it is part of automation, you will come to know how many downloads have been done, how many hits are there, how many searches are happened, how many databases are available, how many journals are available in a particular subject area. If you wanted to make an alphabetical order of serials, everything is possible. All the reports, all the statistics which can be made possible when you make a particular periodical division or serial control division as automated division. And we have one more option, that cash register option. That means suppose, as we know that if you do a transaction, if a person take a book and he returns very late, he will attract a fine, or we call it as overdue charges. So how much overdue charges you have collected? You are collecting either individually, or maybe you will be collecting per day, or maybe you will collect at the end of the financial year. So any procedure you follow, so whatever amount you have collected, and from a single person or a group of people, so how much amount you have incurred, and how much amount you have collected and the details of that collection, everything will be available in this particular module that we call it as cash register statistics, in which you will be able to make. Dear learners, with this particular slide, let me conclude this particular session, as we have seen different areas of library automation such as major housekeeping operations like acquisition, technical processing, cataloging process, or transaction process like resources, issue, return, renewal, etc., and the OPAC, serial controls, maintenance, revision, etc. So we could see that whatever you have it in a traditional library, almost all the procedures, functions and activities can be automated, so that you will be having a huge benefit for you as well as your users. So your users will be much more satisfied than a traditional library system where there is no computerization has been done. When you make such kind of a resources available in an online format and you do the automation procedures for all these activities, that will be highly beneficial for them. And apart from physically coming to the particular library, they can save lot of time, as well as you can save lot of time as a librarian. So mutually the both user as well as the library staff getting benefited. This benefit can be utilized for giving more advanced features or more advanced facilities and services to the users. Dear learners, with this I hope that this particular week you have learned almost all the areas of library automation and all the procedures, planning, implementation, requirements, etc. And I am sure that you will be confident to perform any kind of library automation activities. If your library is following a traditional method, you will be much confident when you learn all these technologies, planning, implementation, and you are understanding the requirements, and then you know what are the advantages of doing the automation in a particular division. You will be much confident to perform all the activities. Thank you.